Okay, so for my 15 weight crest, I forgot to show my Azurite traits, essences, and talents, and all that good stuff. I'm making a quick recording after the video from yesterday to show what I did run. The UI has actually updated a little bit since yesterday. Changed some stuff around here. You'll probably see some other stuff pop up that isn't on the video or the recording of the weight crest. So I ran Death Rose, Particular Scheming, Azurite Globules, Vampiric Speed, Enduring Luminescence, Depth of Shadows, Blood Siphon, Vampiric Speed, Death Rose, Sudden Revelation, Unstable Flames, Long Strider. My cloak's at 15, 84 Heart, my essences Major World Vein, Minor Crucible, Minor ERT, and Minor Memory Lucid Dreams. And now let's go over my talents: Schism, Body and Soul, Power Word Solace, Shining Force, Sins of the Many, Urge of the Wicked, and Lenience. If you guys have any questions as to why I ran what I ran or did what I did, please leave some comments and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Stay tuned to watch 15 Weight Crest plus 2. Okay, so here's the recording, voiceover recording. Taking a screen record of the 15 weight crest I just did, so let's roll right into it. So I started my baked potato a little bit late down there. That just gives me haste buff, and haste is pretty much best in slot for secondary for Discipline Priest if you had to pick one. I mean, all their stats are good, but haste is really good. So I want to keep Atonement out as much as I can on the tank, keep it up 100% of the time if I can. Keep Purge the Wicked out as much as I can because it turns into pseudo hot. Here is where Discipline Priest is kind of seen as bad in Mythic Plus because that was damage I didn't expect anyone to take, so I didn't have my Atonements out already, and that's kind of like the point of Priest or Discipline Priest is to have your Atonements out before damage comes in. And that's why they're seen as like top tier Mythic Raiders because choreographed raids and damage coming out. Easy to be on top of. Mythic Plus is a little bit harder because you kind of only expect the tank to take damage unless you know like a boss mechanic is going to do AoE damage. So there, this Lieutenant is good because Mass Dispel. Get the whole group if you can, so Mass Dispel not get feared. I actually missed the tank there, but it's dispelled them regularly. But yeah, just keep Atonements out. Here, my Mass Dispel is down on a 25-second cooldown right now. Just dispel usually myself or the tank if I don't have it. Yeah, we're just gonna play along here. For the Shaman at 87%, I could have tossed a quick powered shield out just to get him atoned, and that way my dots on the Lieutenant is going to take damage. But it's no big deal, he wasn't taking consistent damage, so I just let it go. That way my Atonement healing is stronger through my Sins of the Many talent. Because Sins of the Many, the less atonements you have out, the more damage your damaging abilities do. So I'd rather have just kept most of that damage for the tank's healing. So here again, just atonement on the tank. Spread my Purge the Wicked. That group there, they're so small that I knew they were going to die pretty quick, so I didn't really worry about getting my Purge the Wicked out. So I'd rather just go into my single target rotation with Solace and Penance. And actually with Purge the Wicked talented, you change your Shadow Word Pain to a Purge the Wicked dot. It does more damage. I think it lasts a little bit over time. And also when you penance someone with Purge the Wicked, you cleave the one Purge the Wicked to whoever target that doesn't have one already. So it's a good idea if you have 4, 5, 6, however many mobs you have, even with 2. Purge the Wicked 1, do all but 1, leave all but 1 Purge the Wicked. And then penance that last one, you just put the Purge the Wicked dot on, and then that's just going to cleave to the last person you didn't already manually Purge the Wicked. Okay, we're playing right along here. Help out with explosives best I can. Power Word Solace is a really good tool this week because of the explosives. One of those will take care of it for you and for the team. There has been, since 8.3 came out, there's been the buffs to Vision of Perfection that start making people think, oh, and a nerf to Solace, so it start making people think, oh, maybe Mindbender is a little bit better play. Mindbender is pretty good. I played it a little bit at the start of the season, but now I'm back to Solace just because I like having that like good chunk of damage on like a relatively short cooldown. So here, this one is kind of spazzed out, I guess so to speak, just because I know this, I've done this fight so many times. I just want everyone atoned, like as much as I can, because there's this AoE damage going out, there's damage that people aren't prepared for, that I'm not prepared for. So the best thing I do is just keep everyone atoned as best I can and just kind of hope for the best that my atonements are timing up properly. And this is a 15 tyrannical, so it's kind of seen as one of the harder ones. I mean, it's only a 15, but it's still no walk in the park, really. Priest cooldowns. Let's talk about them. The Rapture is such an underused cooldown that needs to be used more often. Before it actually gets to the point, but here, he's going to get nettles again. He's going to get singing nettles again, and I fall behind on it. So as a priest, I just blow my mana and try and get him up and shadow mend him, but I just know like there's just nothing I can do for him really, so I just let him go. I get him close, so I'm like, you know what? Yeah, just can't do it. I saw my mana going down, saw the AoE damage going out, so I was like, I'm just going to have to drop the Warlock. I mean, we're really wasn't contributing a whole lot anyways, so I just let him go. Getting locked here, that's not good because someone got MC'd. But yeah, at this point, just gonna let the Warlock go, because I know for me it'd be better to focus on 4 than 5, and better for my mana and my damage output. This is such a good tool too, a big dome barrier. I think it's 50% damage reduction for 8 seconds. That is huge, and that's something I need to work on to use a little bit more often. And it's actually a good tank external too. If it's just a tank taking heavy damage, or you know it's about to take heavy damage, throw that barrier on him. Pain suppression is the same thing, but it's more of it's a single target. It's a single target, same cooldown, both 3 minutes. But yeah, so let's go back to Rapture. Rapture is a 2-minute cooldown, gives you 200% boost to your powered shields, and it's spammable. You don't have to worry about the, oh, I forgot that debuff they added in again. But it gives you put powered shield on someone, and it gives you like 7 seconds to you can't reapply powered shield spammingly, because of the debuff they added. But with powered, or with Rapture, that debuff is no longer there, and you can just spam. Usually I use it on the tank, but I know they're taking a lot of damage, or about to take a lot of damage, just because your mastery is going to build every shield you put on them, so it's going to build on that absorb shield. And Rapture, you can sit there and spam away. You have 8 seconds to spam powered shield. That's huge absorption. And it's a 2-minute cooldown. Like that can be used like every pack, every other pack, pretty much every other pack. You can have it up for probably every boss fight too, to play properly. Stuff I'm learning as I'm playing, but I'm getting better at. I did not run it here, but Spirit of Preservation is a really good miner to have too. Really good boost to Shadow Men, which is what Discipline Priest is always kind of seen as lacking, is that how do I save this person from the oh shit they just put themselves in. And since, well, when 8.3 came out, you know, it kind of solved that issue with Spirit of Preservation. I didn't play it here because I wanted to roll the dice, I guess. Have more damage output instead of more single target healing output. And you saw it earlier, the Ever Rising Tide gives either intellect or mana, or sometimes has a chance to give both. So I just kind of roll the dice and hope I just get intellect more so than mana. Just more intellect, more damage, more healing, or more damage means more healing through atonement. And that's why I actually run with World Vein Major, because it's a 1-minute cooldown, 300% increase your intellect, and then plus you get benefits from whatever shard you have. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Weak Orth to show the World Vein Major. I got it now. You'll see it in my, you saw it earlier in this video with me going over my traits and essences and talents. You would have seen it there. Right over here is where it was. The blue bar was where it was at. That is super useful. But yeah, it's really good. Major, like I feel like, I mean I'm only doing 15 to 16, so maybe it only feels good right now and I can get away with it. But in my mind, 300% more on a 1 minute cooldown means I'm going to be pumping out a lot more damage, which means I'll be pumping out a lot more healing. So I use it in like oh shit moments, and it's a minute cooldown, so I just use it whenever it's up pretty much. I pretty much use it on cooldown. And then you get benefits from 1 to 2 shards almost every single pull, which is any more intellect means more damage, means more healing through atonement, and I really like that. I used to play Crucible Flame Major, but they did buff that World Vein Major, this 8.3 patch, so I decided to roll with it. Finding out it's on a minute cooldown, I was like, absolutely, let me give this a shot, and I actually have not went back. I was able to heal, I was able to push some Grievous weeks last week actually with the World Vein. Like I was like, oh crap, a lot of damage going on right now, and it's really, Grievous is probably like the worst to fix for Discipline Priest. So I would pop my World Vein and just Radiance people, hit whatever I could, and spam Shadow Mans like crazy. And I was actually able to get through some oh shit moments that maybe last season I couldn't do with Crucible Flame Major. So I've always seen really upsides. I've only seen upsides for World Vein Major. Maybe it'll catch on here, maybe it won't, I don't know. But I do enjoy it. Maybe my mind will change if I start doing 17s, 18s, and 19s more consistently. Maybe I'll see like it just isn't as strong as maybe an ERT if I needed it. But that's for the future. So we had that one death from the Warlock. It's because he got chunked pretty hard and then got nettles, put him to half health, and I was just playing from behind. If I had Spirit of Preservation Major, or not Major, the Minor, probably could have saved and had no death. But here you'll see that I die. I blame the tank. I should not have blamed the tank because I wasn't paying attention. Because you see here, he's getting this, target right here. He's letting the stacks get pretty high, and I think he gets to about 20. And then he decides to clear his stacks with the flame. So I was like, I wasn't ready for that. I have all my cooldowns, Pain Suppression is up, Power Berry is up, my Rapture is up. I'm ready for this guy to start taking this like chunks. And he's a monk, so he already doesn't really get chunked very heavily. So I'm like, okay, we can do this without clearing. So I'm staying in melee because if I get thorned, I want melee to be able to cleave to me. That means it's just maximizing boss damage if you stay in melee here in this fight. So here's where I die. He cleared it, and then I don't see the spirits coming out. I'm just getting hammered. And I'm trying to like, oh shit, let me oh shit myself, and then these spirits here, I was just like getting crushed by them. I didn't see them coming out. And then here's where I blame the tank. My fault really. Learning experience pretty much. But we recovered. 2 deaths. I think we only end up with 2 deaths, maybe 3. But we come back and we recover. We start pumping again. We go back right back into it. And I kind of learned my lessons. I kind of back up a little bit more. But he's not going to clear again before the fight is over. There's not really no need to. That power barrier right there, probably a waste. I probably could have kept him up with just smite spams, just going through my single target rotation. Probably could have kept him up that way. But it's okay. It's better to use cooldowns than to not use, let's put it that way. If you're sitting there waiting for this, oh man, like am I going to, let me just wait for that, oh shit, and I need to pop a cooldown. Like at that point, you're probably already lost. You probably already are too far behind to recover. So it's better to just get these big cooldowns on cooldown more often than not. Here, I've thought about it, but I haven't done it yet. I could spam Purge the Wicked on all of those fungus-looking things, and that's going to increase my atonement healing. But the downside of that is, if I Purge the Wicked something, and this boss dies, then I'm stuck in combat until that Purge the Wicked drops. And and then I can't exit the portal, then I'm slowing the team down. So that's why I haven't done it yet. So normally I just do the Lieutenant, keep my atonement on the tank, and maybe Purge the Wicked 2 to 3 of the other fungus things, and that's going to help. More damage, more dots, more atonement. But it's something I've been interested in. Maybe I'll play. Oh, let me just go back real quick. You can see up here, the weak core I had. It's super useful. Boom, Obelisk Rift. So nothing here says that the tank is using it. I'm about to, or he used the obelisk, or he's activated the obelisk now. He didn't type in anything. So that's what I've noticed so far in season 10, or I'm sorry, season 4, 10s and above. I've seen, myself included, people enter the obelisk that look like the tank is about to, and the tank doesn't, he's backed out. Or you got into combat with something on accident. And then you're getting crushed by whatever is in the Nihilotha zone. So I got that weak aura, and that shows me no matter, like, if the tank doesn't have a weak aura or a macro here, that shows me, hey, this tank is clicking on it, and then I know I click on it too. Super useful. So we're back at it. Always atone the tank, keep the atonements up. You see him moving, or her moving, atone. Power, either through Powered Shield or Shadow Mend. And since I have my Depth of Shadows trait, I see my ticker right here, 30 seconds, or 30 stacks, 12 seconds before they all drop. I'm not going to waste on a Shadow Mend, a strong Shadow Mend like that, on a tank with full health. And there, again, kind of AoE damage I wasn't ready for or expected, but we went through it, we got through just fine. I think I learned later, like, okay, I see a pull coming with like 5 to 7 mobs, let me make sure everyone has atonement on them. Now when my damage is already out there doing its thing, as soon as that damage does hit from the enemies, boom, my dots are out there, my penances are hitting at the right time, and then everything's great. Oh, see, actually use Rapture here. See, why not? 2-minute cooldown. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a minute and 20. I wasn't even, oh man, it's even better. Even better, a minute 20 cooldown for Rapture. That is, wow. That can be up almost every pack. Just, it might as well, right? You might as well get a stronger Absorb Shield out that can stack. You might as well get that on cooldown more often than not. You're gonna burn through mana by spamming through your Powered Shield, but I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to, oh, my Rapture is up, let me spam until it drops. You don't have to do it like that. You can just do it like, oh shit, this person took damage. So, he's about to take damage, let's put 1 on him. It's just super, really good tool that newer Discipline Priests I see don't take advantage of it. I would say our biggest drawback as Discipline Priest is probably our mana consumption. It just seems like more stuff you get into, like bigger AoE pulls, harder bosses, harder tyrannical bosses, higher keys, the more demand for your mana you have, and everything costs mana. I think Smite costs mana, Penance costs mana, Solace does not cost mana, it returns mana, Shadow Mend costs mana, Power Shield costs mana, Radiance costs mana. When you use Rapture, you're spamming shields, that costs mana. Like, you have so many things that are good to use, that you're supposed to use because it's in your kit, but it costs mana. And as a fight goes on longer, the more using your limited but very useful abilities. And then you'll find yourself trapped. Like, I haven't gotten to the point like that in Tyrannical. Not yet anyways, but I mean, I've watched some higher Discipline Priest key pushers, like, they push Discipline to like their limit. They're doing things like Tolvigor, last boss, Tyrannical, 24. And if you get doubles on that boss, like, you're just effed. Like, what do? You run out of mana before, like, you can keep everything going, but it's just your mana is gone. Maybe you need a Boomkin for Innervate. I actually have this trinket here. Sorry, the overlay is popping up, but Obsidian, it's a trinket from the new raid. Really good. great single target damage, and in return you get mana back. So I use that. And then those higher keys, if I did get there, I'd probably use Memory Lucid Dream, honestly, to get more mana back. Just to be, I'd rather be safe than, okay, we're crushing this key. And now we're at this super high AoE output damage, and I'm the reason holding this back because my mana isn't there. So I'd rather play it safe than not. Yeah, so far, run's going pretty well, pretty smooth. I keep going over to that, the Warlock CPS because it's like Affliction in Mythic Plus. Yeah, I don't really agree with it. I mean, play what you want, but he's single target oriented at being Affliction, but his damage really isn't there. So I mean, Destruction Warlock, Demonology Warlock, in my opinion, are better Mythic Plus candidate specs for Warlock. But play what you want. He played what he wanted to. It was his key, Warlock's key, and we ended up crushing it. Here I just turn, spam my Purge the Wicked. More dots out means more healing through Atonement. You see the green numbers flying all over the screen. That is such a satisfying thing for me. When I get big 44k crit heals, that means I just hit for like 48 or 80k somewhere. Big crit. That power and that barrier there, that saved me from getting chunked. I got hit by his throw up mechanic, I forget the name of it. Tenderize, I think it's called. I was late on the movement, and this cone effect, it's a little weird, but you may think you're outside of his range, but you might actually not be because the game says otherwise. So it's safer to like move as he's casting instead of waiting towards he's almost done casting. But I knew like, I'm not going to make it out of there. Let me just pop my barrier to save myself from a little bit of damage. And that's just going to make the run so much easier. And is that like a big oh shit moment? Probably not, but look at it's just something. Why not get it on cooldown, right? Just get it on cooldown, use it. Better to use it than not use it at all. I used to start off playing Priest, and even when I was tanking too, I would just not use cooldowns because I'm like, oh, what do I need a cooldown for? Like that's only for, oh shit, I'm about to die. Let me pop all my cooldowns at once. And that is not the right play. And just over time, I learned that, and I mean, I'm doing a lot better than I used to do. Let's put it that way. Here, guys, just getting aggro. That's all it is. No big deal. He'll be fine. You probably use a lock rock there, or I don't know if Shaman has like a big, powerful healing ability. Maybe they do. Then I don't know. I don't know all the classes. I just know mine. I know mine somewhat well. So yeah, I was not ready for him to take aggro. Let's put it that way. So he didn't have anything, and then I was playing catch up there real quick. But we recover 70k HPS right there. It's kind of a lot. That's another thing. People would see HPS meters and kind of think the more HPS, the better you are, which is not true. If you think about it, HPS only comes from when you heal something. If you don't have anything to heal, that's because your team's not taking damage. So your HPS number is going to be lower. And is that better? Yes. The less damage that your team is taking means the better they are at avoiding easily avoidable mechanics, and it should just be your tank taking damage. So your HPS numbers is going to be a lot lower than what I just had at 70k there because the team was just took some aggro from the tank. So that's something to think about if you're learning and you're new to a healer maybe. Like, oh man, my HPS numbers are just too low. Like, how do I get them higher? You can't get HPS higher if you're healing someone that's already at max health. It's only going to take into account your what healing it takes to get them to max health. Now you can look at overhealing. Your overhealing might be through the roof, but then what good is overhealing? You're just wasting mana at that point, right? You're spending heal. It's like you're filling up your gas tank. that's already full. And you're just losing all that gas, just flowing out of your car onto the floor. It's like, oh, but look how much overhealing I'm doing. Look how much overfilling of the gas tank I'm doing. If that's kind of a decent metaphor, I guess. Just kind of thought of it right now. Hopefully that helps someone learn about it. But I know it took me a while. It took me a while when I started healing. I'm like, man, these guys aren't topped up. Like, I need to blow through mana and make sure everyone's topped up 100% of the time. Incorrect. The most important thing as a healer, in my opinion, is getting your team through the fight, or through the dungeon, and then through whatever fights, you know, are involved in the dungeon. I think actually here, yeah, maybe I'll actually have it in this recording. The Demon Hunter, he asked me like, oh, Discipline Priest at 15, and we +2 it. Like, that's, I didn't see that coming type deal, or, you know, just wasn't expecting it. That's just kind of community perception. He's leveling a Discipline Priest, and he asked me some advice. I told him that the Triads fight, I just let the Warlock go, because I knew my mana was more important for the other 4 than it was just for one guy. You know, what if I did save that Warlock, and then now I have no mana, and now I have no mana for the rest of the fight? So you just kind of have to triage in that sense. There's pretty big magic damage going out. Here I'm kind of getting a little lackadaisical keeping my atonements out, because I kind of tunnel into damage, because that's part of the reason I picked Discipline Priest, because before Holy Paladins came out with Glimmer of Light, and before Resto Druids found Cat Weaving, Discipline Priest was like the healer that did good damage. You know, there wasn't really another healer like it. I mean, Druid was always around, and people like started messing around with, oh, let me see if I can Cat Weave in between my hots doing my hots doing healing. And then like, oh, look how much damage I'm doing. Like, I was gonna hot everyone up, go Cat Weave, spread some damage out. Oh, need more healing? Let me hop back out into regular form, start throwing out more hots. Bada bing, bada boom, you know. And then now they're doing as much damage as Discipline Priest was. Then on Season 3, I want to say Druids probably didn't end up doing more damage than Discipline Priest and having an easier time to push through content. Not even talking about their utility, because Druid utility is nuts. Just nuts. But strictly HPS and DPS, I want to say around Season 3 is where Druid probably started surpassing Discipline Priest. And I kind of felt bad, you know, it's like, well dang, like my role as a Discipline Priest is to do damage to heal. Like, I should be able to always be the top DPS healer. Then Holy Paladins got their Glimmer of Light, excuse me, and that just kind of changed the whole game. And now in this Season 4, forget about it. Holy Paladins are probably a way above and beyond the highest DPS healer there is. And they still put out great healing numbers, and they don't really use mana. But I'm not really that upset. I kind of like that there are classes out there that kind of are taken from what Discipline Priest, their like niche is, and they're doing it. I mean, it sucks that they're doing it better, but I'm hopeful that in Shadowlands, like, something's going to get reworked and people are going to start finding their places again. Maybe Holy Paladin won't be as strong anymore. Or maybe they'll actually start using some of their mana. Maybe Resto Druids can start losing some of their utility in Resto spec. Maybe Discipline Priest is not going to get their damage nerfed every single patch. Which I do understand. Because the higher the item level goes, the more stats you're getting. So if we would have stuck at, what was it, 65 damage percent turned into atonement healing, or was it 60 at the start? I don't remember exact numbers, but 60%, that's, like, it has to kind of be brought down, right? Like, stats are going to go up, but keep it at 60%, it'd be insane. I'd like to see what it would be like if they never nerfed Discipline Priest damage. That'd be really cool to see the numbers at least, just to see it. But now we're at 50, so half our damage we do via priest spells turns into our atonement healing, and you either play it, just make it work, or you just play something else. And I decided to play it, make it work, and I thoroughly enjoy playing Priest. Holy Nova. I think it's a good spell. I think Holy Nova is a really good spell. I think it's not used very often, but powered radiance, everyone. Make sure everyone's got atonement and big AoE output. Pull like this and spam Holy Nova. That's about 32k just of Holy Nova damage. And that's 50k my Holy Nova was healing. You know, my Holy Nova was healing that. So sometimes I watch people play Discipline Priest and I don't see them using Holy Nova like in big packs like that. But it's also doing higher keys. Maybe they're more focused on keeping the group alive than I was. But mid-range keys like this, spam away on Holy Nova. Big AoE pulls, just spam away on Holy Nova. It's not going to hurt anything. I mean, chances are too, like, your Mythic Plus is more about AoE damage, so you're running with people who are kind of more AoE oriented damage output. You're not going to go before the pack dies if you spam Holy Nova. Here as Discipline Priest, or maybe all healers in general, like I'm going to go pick this up, I'm going to do the mechanic here. Because why not, right? I'm already ranged, usually that's where those things spawn, is out at range. Keep atonements up. And yep, here we go, pick up the potion, boom. Drop it on the mob whenever it dies. There again, just get it out. Why not, right? Just get out my cooldown. So I use an unbridled push of Unbridled Fury there. It does not translate into atonement damage or atonement healing, but it does translate to more damage. So why not just do more damage to help the key go by faster? As a healer, I feel like we have the most responsibility to do 100% efficient, be 100% efficient, I guess. Yes, my role is to keep people alive. But if I can do damage while people are up to help the key go by faster, like that's the goal of Mythic Plus, right? So be more efficient in that sense. I try and put out as much damage as I can while keeping people up at the same time. It's really fun to find that balance too. There I just use Rapture and spam people. I mean the damage is already done, but still get it on cooldown. That's that. Completed with what, about 40 seconds left? That's a +2, 15 wake rest. Oh man, this is going to show my overall. Well, my overall healing was about, is it 38k? I think it was a little bit less. That's kind of like a end of fight / overall on the details meter here on the bottom left. But it's a good idea of what my overall was. For DPS down here, HPS up here. I'm not actually using this this here. Thought about it, but I don't really want that corruption and echoing void. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it, maybe I'll play it, but the stats, I'd rather have crit and haste versus versatility mastery. Yeah, it's a little bit more item level, but it's only 5 difference from what I already have. So I did not want to lose the item level or gain the item level and lose the secondary stats. I'd rather, being that close, I'd rather keep my crit haste. I like where I'm at. And that is it. Add another 15 to my resume. At the recording of this video, the run, I was like 17 something. I played a lot yesterday. Pushed I think 3 or 4, 15 times. 15s in time. I boosted my IO to, I think I'm at 1889 right now. But yeah, that's Discipline Priest's point of view. That's kind of looks like it's hectic, there's a lot going on. But to summarize pretty much, keep atonement on the tank. You want to keep that up 100% of the time as best you can, because tanks are the one who should be taking the most damage, right? That's kind of their role. That's their role. You want to keep your dots out as much as you can. Excuse me. keep your dots out as much as you can, because it's a pseudo hot. 50% of that dot's damage is transferred to atonement healing to whoever has atonement. So, tank keeps atonement. You have 4 or 5 dots taking 10k damage. 5k of that is going to healing per dot out. So it's 30k if you have 3 out, 15k going into healing over time to the tank. Make sure we use Rapture, not on cooldown, but use it more often than you think you need to. Same goes for Powered Bear and Pain Sup. Pain Suppression, tanks like Warriors and Death Knights and sometimes Paladins, those tanks don't really, they need to like combat to gain their defenses, active mitigation. So sometimes throwing a Pain Sup on a Warrior or a DK to start a pool is going to save that tank from being like, oh shit, I'm about to die, let me, it's going to save you too. So the things is kind of be knowledgeable. Discipline Priest benefits the most from being the most knowledgeable about what you're encountering and what you're doing. Do some homework, research, like, hey, what does this boss do? What does this boss do? What do these mobs do? But yeah, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to make more, but this is my first video. I want to see how it does. So thank you all for watching, and take care.